thought about when you'll know that you're actually healed from grief and loss? Like, have you thought about what does healing look like and how will I know when I get there? What I want to talk to you about today is the fact that healing is actually a habit. It's something that you do day in and day out. And it gets easier over time, but there are certain things that you're going to be doing for the rest of your days. And I want you to stick around to the end because we're going to have an opportunity for you to enter in a drawing to win my book, You're Not Crazy, You're Grieving. But let's jump into this idea and concept that healing is a habit. Let's talk about it. Okay. I believe that healing is a habit. Actually, I believe that healing is a bunch of habits that you learn and adopt and adapt to after grief and loss. When you first experience the loss, it's overwhelming and consuming, and you need to very quickly, or in some cases, it takes a long time to identify and embrace some new habits. A little timeline that I like to give people as a tool to kind of see where you're at in your healing process is typically people kind of go through 3 phases. The first phase is, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person is gone. Or you really literally cannot believe the person is gone. Like the statement is, they're not gone. They can't be gone, right? That's kind of the beginning shock. You're grappling with the reality that the person is gone. Now, the second phase is, oh my gosh, this person is gone. And the weight of that and the heaviness of that. And that becomes the predominant thought. The fact that they're gone, the fact that they're physically not here, permeates every single place that you go, every thought that you think. All you can see is their absence everywhere that you look. What we hope for you to get to, and what we help people to get to, is my person is still here with me in so many ways. There are some ways that they're not with me, but they are still with me in a lot of ways, and that you can see and identify and connect to the ways that they are still with you. And that is the place where you will live out the rest of your days, connecting to the places where you have your loved one still with you. So that's kind of a very high level overview of how I see people moving through grief. The disbelief that they're gone, the reality that they are gone, and then connecting to and identifying that they're not completely gone, they're just physically gone, but there are still ways that they're here with us, okay? And in each area, your brain is learning new ways of thinking, new ways of relating to your loved one, new ways of taking care of yourself, and new ways of just emotion regulation all throughout that journey. And so in each area, you're learning new skills and you're instilling new habits. And habits that you implement in each of these phases a lot of them will stay with you for the rest of your life. And so people often say, well, you never heal from grief, you never recover. And I always contend with that. And I still do. We do heal, we do recover. It should get lighter and easier as time goes on. And I think I'm walking in, if you do it correctly, it gets to a place where you're not even consciously aware of it. Your subconscious mind can do quite a bit of the processing and healing for you, and it doesn't require conscious effort on your part anymore. That's what it looks like to have ongoing, sustained healing. Remember back to, when you first learned to drive a car, and at first it was like you were so overwhelmed and you were trying to learn all these things, and it took a lot of energy, right? And you were really stressed out. And then the more you did it, your brain learned, and your subconscious mind now, when you get in a car, just takes over and it's automatic. The same thing is true of really any habit, anything that we do repetitively. Eventually, our subconscious mind grabs hold of it and it becomes automatic. So all of these skill sets that we learn about how to deal with the loss, how to process the loss, how to think about the loss, eventually become habitual. Now, the good and the bad news of that is if you're doing the wrong things, or if you're stuck in the place of my person's gone, and this is just where it is, right? It is what it is. It's never going to be the same. And if that's where you stay, then you're going to habitualize that. And that is going to become the lens that you see the rest of your life through. But what we want to do is teach your brain how to get to that place of they're still here in many ways. They're just not here physically. And if that can become the lens, and if you can habitualize the thoughts around that, and that can become the subconscious lens that you look through, then you'll find that without even thinking about it, you'll be connecting to your loved one in a bunch of ways. You'll be seeing their presence in nature and in other people and in memories and in inside jokes and in fill in the blanks, right? Like that is where we want you to get. But the point I'm trying to make in this video is that healing is a habit. Another quick analogy to just hopefully help dial this concept in for you is, and part of the reason why it's so different for everyone is that some of us may have had good mental health habits before coming into grief and loss, and some of us may have never done work around emotional regulation or thought, compartmentalizing your thoughts or self-care or any of those things, right? So let's say somebody is a health nut and they eat really clean and they work out all the time, and then they get a sickness, they get an illness, a diagnosis that requires them to be even more regimented with their diet and exercise and take even more kind of extreme care of themselves. For someone like that, it's going to be fairly easy to adapt and add those other things because they already had the habit of good health in their life, right? Now we take someone else who does not have a great diet and does not exercise, and then they get diagnosed with an illness that requires some pretty radical changes to their lifestyle, right? They have to change their diet significantly. They have to change their exercise and everything. And for them, it's going to be even harder to adapt these new habits because they didn't have them previously. So it goes with grief recovery, right? So for people who have done a lot of, emotional regulation work, boundaries work, being aware of our energy and our limits and our margins, right? For people who've done mindfulness work and being aware of our thoughts, when they come into grief and loss, it's going to just require like beefing up on some existing habits and maybe adopting one or two new habits. But if you haven't been through trauma or tragedy or counseling or done any of that work, and then you experience grief and loss, it's especially overwhelming because you're having to learn a whole new set of habits that are completely foreign to you. So I can understand why for so many people, it feels like it's so overwhelming and that they'll never recover because you're trying to learn easily a dozen new habits all at the same time. But I hope what I'm conveying to you, what I want you to understand is that these are all habits, and every habit can be adopted and implemented. And just like any habit, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And so even if you have to learn 12 new habits for your grief recovery and healing, don't give up, because the longer you do it, the easier it's going to become. And there will come a day where it becomes automatic for you. As I mentioned, actually today at the filming of this is the 8th year anniversary. My mom took her life 8 years ago today. And I am fine today. Like, it's not affecting me today. And a big part of the reason why I'm walking in such healing is that I have embraced and practiced the habits of healing for many years. I have done this work and done it consistently for so long that my subconscious mind is processing things before it ever even gets to my conscious mind. So it's very rare, if ever, that I get triggered by anything, right? Because my subconscious mind has done a lot of the work around this so that my conscious mind is not consumed or burdened by the weight of grief. I have processed a lot around the loss, and I have the habits of healing that are intertwined into my life, okay? So I want you to know that it absolutely is, no matter how many habits you have to implement, you can do it. It will take time, but you will get there, okay? And I want you to think about, what habits do you currently have? This is the second point. So many people are grappling with grief and loss, and when I ask them, well, what are you doing about that? They're not doing anything, right? So it's just like any other area of our life, our health or our finances or our relationship. You can't not take action or be intentional to try to change it and expect change to happen. Like, change isn't just going to happen through osmosis, right? We have to be intentional. And every day, in my opinion, there is nothing more powerful than a daily habit. And we all have them because we all get up and do things day in and day out, right? Like, you probably don't have to think about brushing your teeth in the morning, right? Like, you've been doing that for so long, it's just habit. And there are things that you can, and in my opinion, should do when it comes to grief recovery, habits that are going to help you to heal. And you also may be doing some habits that aren't helping you to heal. I personally believe there is no neutral ground. Either the habits that you're doing every day are helping your healing or hindering your healing. It's that simple, black and white. And the sooner you can see things that way, and the sooner you can identify, is this a habit that's helping my healing or hurting my healing? And embrace and adopt the ones that are helping your healing and remove or minimize the habits that are not helpful for your healing, the more quickly you're going to accelerate your healing. So my first question, which I've already got on a rabbit trail, is this: what are you doing each and every day to help in your own grief recovery? What is the just one thing that you're doing every day that you know is helping you to heal, and you are committed to doing it every day and have been doing it every day? If you don't have at least one thing that you're doing every day to take good care of yourself and help your grief recovery, that is the place to start. And if you need ideas on where to start, hit me up. We have a plethora of ideas based on what's comfortable for you and what would be most helpful for you. There's so many things that you can do each and every day to just start moving yourself down the continuum of healing. The second part of that question is, what are the things you're doing every day that you know are actually not helping you to heal, right? What are the conversations you're having? What are the thoughts that you're allowing yourself to ruminate on every day? You know, what are the places that you're going that are, what are just the things that you're doing that are not helping? Okay. That's a great place to start. But just know that as you embrace the healing habits and you do it over and over, you guys, it gets easier, it gets lighter, it gets more enjoyable. And at some point it becomes automatic and subconscious, so that you are consciously living your life and grief is not stealing anymore from you, right? And we also want to get you to the point where you have woven your person, your loved one, into your day-to-day life going forward. We don't leave anybody behind. We bring them with us going forward, and we weave them into our experience, and we remember them, and we celebrate them, and we share them with others. And that is what it looks like to be healed from grief, in my opinion. So let me know below, like, what healing habits do you have around grief and loss? What habits do you maybe know you need to let go of for the sake of healing? And then, as promised, so in case you didn't know, I wrote a little book called You're Not Crazy, You're Grieving. Here it is. And we're going to do a fun thing on YouTube that every Friday. So if you're interested, leave a comment below. You can say whatever. Talk about habits. Just say, I want the book. Say anything below. And then every Friday, we'll take a look and pick one of the comments to receive the book. Either the hard copy or an electronic version of the copy will be sent out to you. Just my encouragement to you. I hope that it blesses you and encourages you. And obviously, if you found this video helpful, share it with someone who also might be going through grief and loss, and certainly subscribe to the channel below so you can be notified of all the other videos that we release. Myself and all the other coaches here at Grace for Living After Loss are here to cheer you on in your grief recovery journey, and to let you know that healing isn't instant, it isn't easy, but it is possible, and it is worth it. Here's to your recovery.